Hey, everybody, and welcome to a very silly, ridiculous episode of Cracking for a Cause, where this guy right here, this guy on camera, who's not normally on camera, forgot to hit the record button, I guess, or something. I don't know what happened, but Hobbs and I did an entire battle
Yeah,
like this right
like
here.
entire battle. Like we
An
really mean
entire
this because
battle.
we did pre-release.
We did a pre-release kit each.
So yeah,
It
so
was
so
it.
six packs and the promo card.
So I feel like a huge idiot, and it happens. It's just
It's technology.
reaffirming my place in the world. But that's okay. So, Hobbs, thank you for joining me. Why don't you give everybody a little spiel about where they can find you?
So I'm HobbesQ. I can be found on Twitter at HobbesQ or at the Goblin Lore Pod. So the Goblin Lore podcast is a podcast looking at social and mental health issues from a lore perspective. So we kind of look at ways that we can look at things in the real world through the lens of the game that we play. So we've done profiles in goblins where we've looked at slow bad and how it relates to friendship or mental health stigma. But we also just kind of meet and talk about community issues. So recently we've had on Daquan Watson. We're getting ready. It will be on out this week, right before this comes out. So episode 77 is part 2 of our discussion with Daquan Watson.
Which is awesome. I really love him. He's
yeah. He is. We literally recorded for 3 hours with him, and it was like my wife and kid were basically ready to go do stuff, and I was just like,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I know. I was just like, yeah,
you
like
lose
I
time sometimes, right?
3 more hours, but we did like a lore looking at so part 1 was looking at representations of characters of color in Magic lores to date. And then part 2 was a mailbag where people asked questions Daquan had put out saying, hey, come and like after everything that's happened, just I'm willing to come on shows. I'm willing to talk about anything that people want to talk about. He's a very open, just great resource. And so we got our listeners gave us questions for Daquan, and that's what's out this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, so there'll be a link up there, up in this corner. There'll be a little box that should have popped up that links to the Goblin Lore podcast, episode 77, you said?
Episode 77. We're just past our 2-year anniversary this past week.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Which just blows my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
To be doing something like that just so regularly too, right? Like it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. And we've had a couple of breaks. We actually lost one of our hosts who left playing the game of Magic, and the fact that we've been able to keep it going and have had good response to what we're doing has just made it just this actually become a big part of my own mental health recovery.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that is who my charity is that we were playing for today was the National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI. They can be found at NAMI.org for their general national related stuff, but they also each have their own local chapters. So mine was NAMI, Minnesota.
Right.
And they are just a great organization because they provide a lot of work at ending stigma and kind of working on getting the laws passed that kind of can help people with mental health access resources and services. They offer programming for family members of people who suffer from mental illness so that they can learn kind of about what their family member might be going through, to get education, to get support. Support groups for people that have mental health problems. So they're just a great organization. We plug them on the show. We're just coming out of May was Mental Health Awareness Month, so we did all mental health topics that month. So yeah, that's who great. I am playing for today.
Yeah, that's great. So like that's where I'll be sending my money if Hobbs wins. Well, we already know the outcome, but you guys
do.
So we'll cover that in a moment. But my charity that I was going to send Hobbs's money to, if I won, wait, am I giving too much away? Is that what's happening here?
I mean, you did.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine.
It's cool. Time travel.
So I have a rotating group of charities that I'm going to be going through for myself, because I'm basically going to have a new guest on hopefully every week with charities of their own, and my charities will rotate between 4 that I've picked. And by I picked, I mean my wife and I discussed and picked the ones that we thought were good enough to promote and showcase. So this week we're going to be doing the Halton Women's Shelter here in my hometown. It's been around forever. It's basically just a great little community charity that helps women find a safe place, right? When they've dealt with basically anything that requires them to need a safe place. So it's just a great little charity. They do a lot of great work that's really needed in our community, and I mean, it's needed everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to help them in any way I can. So that's why I'm hopefully sending Hobbes money to them this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Like I said, we already said at the beginning of this, there really is no.
That's right.
Well, there's winners, but there are no losers.
That's right. There's no losers in this format. There's no losers in this format. So basically, what we had decided for this pre-release kit that we were doing is that we would do best of 7, and the stipulation would change each pack. And the first stipulation, because of course you only get 6 packs, was the dollar value of the pre-release promo card.
And then
Hobbes
from there,
opened
the
up.
loser of the pack gets to choose the next stipulation.
Correct. Yes, the loser would then pick the next stipulation.
We started off with just kind of an absolute, just like, I opened my pre-release pack, thought it was a good, I got a companion, it's a legendary.
He's got Gigantha, and I opened Riel.
It wasn't even close.
So it was just, not
it was
close.
Just a complete blowout. Riel is like a solid $11, $11.50 card. Gigantha promo is like
$2. Yep.
Yeah. So it was just an absolute beating from the gate. So I chose, in line with the cast, was the total number of red cards in the pack.
That's right.
Which I actually got a second Gigantha in that pack.
Yeah.
And it is a hybrid card allowing me to count it. And I think I won with just 3.
I think you did. You have 4? I thought you had 4, or maybe it was 3. Yeah,
it was
I
3
only opened. I only
Yeah.
opened like 1.
1.
It was like 1, and I was like, red cards. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I also opened my first at that point. Got my first alt art.
Yes, your first alt art, which is a funny thing because we'll go through it as we go through these packs, but you'll see a trend, everybody, on the alt arts. So then that means I got to pick the stipulation for the next pack, and so I picked the pack that has the most cards with teeth on it. So Hobbes and I counted through. I think you ended up with 9, and I ended up with 10.
So you ended up with a sketchy 10, or we had to go to Scryfall and bring up higher resolution art because Convolute is a wizard smiling.
That's right.
And we couldn't tell if it was or a.
Yeah, we couldn't tell if there was teeth in the picture.
Yes.
Turns out there were.
There were, which pushed him over the edge. And I got number 2, Lord Draxus.
Number 2. And still 0 for me, just so that we're all on the same page.
So the next pack was me. Mm-hmm. And I chose the stipulation for this pack was the uncommon slot total number of words in the card names.
That's right.
For the 3 uncommon slots.
Yep.
And there was a little bit of a slow roll. Because I did mine first, and MrBevers really set me up to sweat it out. Because I started out with a neutralize, which was 1, but then pulled out a Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, which is a solid 4 right there. Mm-hmm. And then my last one had 2. And you, I believe, just went 2, 2, 2.
That's right. 2, 2, 2.
2, 2, 2.
Yep.
Nothing good in this pack for me. I got a Winota, so that's cool. No,
it was it's a notable card, or a win-notable card.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's right.
You missed out on that one, so that's I'm glad we're re-recording this.
I did it. I got there. I made the horrible dad pun, and I'm not even the dad here.
I know.
So that led us into the next pack, and the next pack I got to pick because, of course, I lost there, and so I picked the. I wanted to do
great one.
Who would have
flavor text.
The most flavor text in the common slot.
Common slot.
So we poked around. We just did a quick flash of the rares and stuff. Mine was an extinction event. I can't remember what
I got an Eerie Ultimatum.
Yeah. Okay, so then it ended up being a very close battle with the.
Yeah, I thought I had this. So I guess I spoiled it. I had fully grown, and we were both saying there's some great flavor text on these cards because a lot of them have names of the bonder in them, which can help. But I was 4 lines of text, the word "I" 3 times. I got this at 28 words.
Mm-hmm. No. I came in with this moss coat. and just showed Hobbes what was up with one more word than him.
Just blew me out of the water with that one extra word.
Blew him away. Just gone.
But set it up that I had to win out.
That's right.
So
then you got to pick the next one.
I got to pick the next stipulation. And so this was total number of cards with mutate. And as soon as I said this, I started opening up my pack and going through and just nothing right before. And then I get to the uncommon slot. And right before the uncommon slot, I pull 2 commons. And then I go straight back to back 2 uncommons, including another
alt art. And I
4 mutate.
Opened a big fat goose egg.
Like just
0 mutate cards in my pack. And my rare was the Ozolith, which would be great if you had things that made tokens.
Right.
But if you don't,
it doesn't.
It's not really not really going to help you out. So that led us into the sudden death round. Right?
The sudden death round, yeah.
Because we each had 3 wins at this point, and it was my turn. And I was like, "Oh, Hobbes, you're sunk now. You're letting me pick the last stipulation. I mean, how can this go wrong? Every time I've picked, I've won, right?"
Right. It's basically
Yeah. And so I was like, "Well, I guess I'll pick the pack that has the most humans in it."
Yeah.
That was a poor choice on my part, I guess.
Well, I will say I started off just like I looked at I had the back of my pack, and I literally just said, "Wait, before we go any further, I already need to know, do I get to count this human soldier token?"
And I said no.
And he said no. So we went to the cards.
And it didn't matter that I said no. It didn't even matter. And the thing is I started strong.
Yeah.
In my first 3 cards of the pack, I opened 2 humans.
Yeah.
2 humans in my first 3 cards. And then no more.
You goose egg the rest of the way.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
2 humans up front. They threw the beasts had learned, throw the humans up front. Right. Let them take the first initial wave of battle, and then they can just come in and just finish off.
That's what yours are. And then once again, I got this is 2 packs in a row that I got just absolute. Well, the mutate one, I guess not. You just
I just got blown out of the water.
But I hit the uncommon slot again.
Yeah.
And
2 humans.
I also ended up with yet another alt art, uncommon alt art.
That's right. Oh yes, I guess I forgot to mention though. In my last pack, I did get I got my first alt art, and it was a gem raiser.
It's a rare. It's beautiful.
Yeah. But the previous pack where I got that Ozolith, I actually ended up with a foil Cheville randomly, which is just pretty amazing.
The random foil it's a mythic too, right? Like we had this discussion. Yeah,
foil mythic just randomly. And what you don't know, Hobbes, and what I don't tell a lot of people is that my community actually, not my community, but like a few members of my community refer to Cheville as Mr. B. Because we look very similar when it comes to the haircut and the facial hair and
the chest hair.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, So I pulled that one. I did that. You're completely right on that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, so I ended up pulling out this victory.
All 4. 4 for Hobbes, 3 for me. Close game.
Yeah.
You played well. Good.
Thanks.
Where are we? This way? We're this way, right? High five to you. There.
Yeah.
Boom. Got
there. And we recorded it.
Yep. Yeah, we recorded it this time. So you should see my donation to what was it? Nema? Is that what it's called?
NAMI MN or NAMI Minnesota.
So I mean, I'll have the link and everything. Hobbs has already given me the link, so I'll pop up my donation saying, like I donated the money, so that you guys can make sure that I did in fact donate, which I like to do at the end of all these videos, so that you guys know that this is legitimately happening, and not just like, oh, we're gonna donate to charity.
Crack those packs. Yeah. So, and we said that I will come back for a rematch.
Yes.
Where we actually record the pack opening.
Yes,
and I'm gonna demand front facing camera because the reactions of this entire thing were just amazing.
This was Hobbs. Hobbs showed up and he was like, oh, "We're doing front facing," and I was like, "I don't normally do this." He's like, "Too bad, we're doing it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right."
So thank you very much for having me on.
Yes, thank you for coming. So don't forget, everybody, check out the links below in the description to find the Goblin Lore podcast, as well as Hobbs' Twitter page and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you toss them a follow. Do you guys have a YouTube page or no?
We do, but it mainly is just my Twitch replays.
Okay.
So we don't. We're on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes.
Yeah. So
kind of
all I'll ask you to do, Hobbs, is just shoot me the links in the Discord there, so that I can make sure I put them into the description properly when the video goes up. And then just make sure you toss him a follow, check out his podcast, all that good stuff, and check out the charities. I would love for you guys to check out the charities and donate if you can. I know that this is like a hard time for people to be throwing money around at things, and there are a lot of good causes out there right now, absolutely. But that doesn't mean that, we can't throw money to the ones that we enjoy, right? Or the ones that we believe in, right? So...
And even looking too, like I said, there was some great links with the Black Lives Matter stuff that is really ways that you can help out, even if you can't financially. And a lot of these organizations that we talk about have volunteer opportunities and events and stuff that you can get involved in.
Exactly. So like if you're in and around the areas, right? You should definitely check out, and especially with yours with NAMI, because it's a national association, they're everywhere.
Yep, you'll find a local chapter.
So if you want to help out the local chapter near you, check out the website, right? Link should be below in the description.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. And I have a saying that I say at the end of all my videos. You may not know what it is, but I'm going to say it anyway. And so do you want to say it with me, or do you want me to just do it?
I don't know it.
Yeah, but I can tell you what it is, and then we can say it, or I can just do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah? Okay, so the saying is, may your pulls ever be better. Okay.
May your what?
May your pulls ever be better.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Let's go ahead. So, thanks everybody for watching, and
may your pulls never be better.
No, ever be better. You don't want them to never be better.
Oh yeah. See, these are
you want them to always be better, right?
Yes.
If the pull you get this time is a great pull, the next pull better be better, right?
Yeah, that's true. See, I can't get the phrases and catchphrases down.
That's okay. I've been doing it for too many years probably at this point, saying it at the end of every video. So it's just kind of ingrained in my brain now at this point.
Right. Ours is goblins like snowflakes are only dangerous in numbers.
There you go. See? Yeah. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I've been your host, MrBevers, with special guest HobbesQ. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.